Okay, so that being said, wanted to talk to you a little bit today just about what is going on, and how you can actually leverage LinkedIn. And for people who are not familiar with LinkedIn, it is a great resource because people go there. It's kind of like the world's resume. It's like a resume of the whole world, right? Everybody, people post information up there about their career, about where they are. They post articles, they share, insights and things like that. But mainly, they tell everyone that's up there basically says, "This is me. This is where I live, and this is what I do." And a lot of it is for job searches or people looking to gain or increase their business or their profession or their career. And they're looking to create connections so that they can network with people to advance their careers. That is what LinkedIn is all about. Does that sound like something that we do? Networking to find people to help everyone advance their careers. Yes, that's what we're doing. We just do it on a part-time basis. And some people do it on a full-time basis. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop sharing my screen here. And I want to share, just a couple quick points. And I'll give you a hint. This is going to be a much more in-depth training as we go. As we create this, as we're going forward, we're going to do a much more advanced version of this coming up very soon. But I wanted to give you just kind of a tidbit, for instance, of what we're doing here. And so hopefully I can get my LinkedIn profile up on the screen here. I think I can. So this is LinkedIn. If you guys haven't seen it before, right? If you haven't seen LinkedIn and you haven't been on it, go to linkedin.com, and go get yourself a LinkedIn account. It's free. Anybody can do it. Everybody should do it. I almost say to myself, look, if you don't have a LinkedIn account and you're building this business, you're missing something. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Now, here's the thing. You can put up there your regular core career or profession if that's what you'd like to do. You can also put up your career or profession and go on to LinkedIn as a Think Plus advisor if that's what you'd like to do. It's up to you, however you want to do it. Personally, myself, I have my own business outside of Think Plus. And so I have my own business up there. I've been in the recruiting space since the year 2000. So 24 years I've been in the recruiting space. And I've been recruiting IT professionals and sales professionals while I've been in the network marketing space as well, simultaneously. So that's what I like to portray to people. So however you want to do it, my personal opinion, my personal preference is I like to have my core career or profession that I've been involved in for 24 years. And I like to then state to people that I also have a part-time profession because I'm looking to attract people like that as well. So it's up to you how you want to do it. But I like to be able to reach out to people and say, yeah, I have a recruiting company that I've had for 24 years, but I also have a part-time business in the energy sector that actually is now eclipsing what I do in my regular profession. And so that becomes attractive to people. So it helps you to tell the story. So whatever it is that your background is, put it up there and have your profile there. And in a more in-depth training time, we'll talk about how you can actually go and build a profile that works for you. So what I want to do here, there are these tabs here for jobs where you can look up jobs. There are things where you can look up companies, you can look up people, you can do all different things, but they have these buttons right here that you can look all different types of things up, whether it's people, jobs, posts, companies, schools, groups, events, courses, services. I'm going to focus on people right now. Okay, just to give you a little bit of information on how you can find people. So when you put people in there, and then I put in this, let's say I'm looking for insurance agents. I don't know, I'm looking to network with insurance agents. I'm just giving an example. So I type in insurance agent because that's who I'm looking to network with. When I put in insurance agent, it's going to pop up with 756,000 results of people that are insurance agents. See, and then I can narrow it down and I can go into locations and I can say, well, do I want to find people in the United States? Well, let's say I'm looking for people in Texas. All right, so I'm going to look up and now it's going to show me results for people who are in Texas. Now I'm down to 62,000 people in the state of Texas, right? And so you can narrow it down even further. You can actually say, well, I want to find people who are I can add a location. Let's say I'm looking for people in the Houston area. So I can type in Houston. And when I put in Houston, Texas, now I'm narrowing it down, not just to Texas, but Houston, Texas. And now I want to show the results. Now, I still have 62,000 people, probably because I kept Texas in there. So now I want to narrow it down to Houston. Look, now I'm down to 6,700 people. Seeing you can narrow it down however you want. You can narrow it down to areas within Houston. You can narrow it down to geography. There's all different ways to manipulate this so that you can find people. Let's say I want to search for somebody who's in solar sales. Okay. I'm just going to give an example there. Solar sales is a career, right? People who sell solar to people. They go and meet with people at their home. They build a relationship with them. They sell them solar 1 out of 10 times, the other 9 out of 10 times. It's not a sale, but they know who that person is and they've been at their house before. So that might be somebody that's a trusted advisor, right? So now I'm looking for solar salespeople because we have community solar and we're in Illinois. And let's say I'm looking for people in Chicago. So I'm looking for people that are in the greater Chicago area that are in solar sales because I want to network with people who are in that industry. And I have my profile up on LinkedIn. Now I can go and I can see somebody here. I can say, oh, there's Frank Falcone. So he's in roof and solar sales manager at Apple Roofing. Great. We just gave him a nice plug, right? There's all different people in here. Here's David, who is in the Chicago area. And his current profession, it tells you, he's a sales associate at Sunrun. So you might want to connect with him, right? So let's say I want to go and I want to connect with David. Now I can message him right here and that's fine, but I'd like to actually go in and see who is David, and see if I want to find out a little bit more about him. I see his nice picture there. I get to look at his activity and his connections. I see he has 300 connections, so he's somewhat well connected. That's great. I see that he worked at Sea Captain. He's a CEA captain, right? A sea captain at Sunrun. And before that, he was a sales associate. Before that, he was a sales manager at iSolar. And before that, he was with First Light Energy as a freelance person, and then a solar consultant before that. Turns out there's more experiences in here too. It shows all 7 experiences. This guy has been in the customer. He's been with Tesla. He's been with Blue Raven Solar. You see this? Now I've somebody that's been in this industry for quite a while, and I imagine he has a lot of connections. So if I want to connect with him, I can go in and message him right there on LinkedIn. I can send him a message. I can follow him, whatever it is, or I can connect if we know each other. Now, if we don't know each other, I can just send him a message. So that's fantastic. So you can utilize this service. Now, here's the thing. What I will caution you on is if you don't know people and you're just going around and connecting with 500 people a day or even 50 a day, and you don't know them, there's no reason for you to connect with them. Eventually, you're going to get banned. Like you're going to get shut down temporarily from doing things like that because you're just blasting out people all over LinkedIn and you don't actually know them. But to send someone a message, that's good. That's what it's there for. LinkedIn is there to allow this person, whatever his name is again, David, to be able to accept messages from other people on LinkedIn so that they can then get to know them and network with them. All right, so that's what this is all about. So let's say I want to send David a message, and I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm just going to kind of share my screen as well with some kind of ways or methods that you can reach out to someone that makes it so that they want to like when they read your email, it's going to be an email that is not focused so much on you as much as it's focused on them and what they do. Okay. And the reason I say that is because when you're sending a message to a complete stranger, it's just general nature, okay? People are most interested in themselves. It's just across the board. People are more interested in themselves than they are in you, especially if you're a stranger. So you want to take that into account and you want the messaging to be more about them than it is about you. You're not trying to get them to do something. You're trying to pay them a compliment, maybe, and let them know that you'd like to connect with them. And so I'm going to give you a couple kind of examples of some things that you can share with people when you're reaching out to them. And look, I've been doing this for 25 years nearly. All right. So these things work. All right. They just plain old work. All right. So let me see if I can get, I think this is it right here. So I'm going to send, so this is just a sample contact that you can send to someone. And again, we'll get these scripts up into our Google Drive, onto our Google Drive and all that. And this will be recorded so you can take screenshots. And this is just an example. This is a very simple example. So you'd be like, hi, David. Now, I like to pay people a compliment. Hi, David. I was looking at your profile and I saw that you're in this industry. I love your background. The 7 companies that you've worked with are all solid companies. And, after looking through your profile, I see that you live in the Chicago area, and I happen to be expanding a business in the Chicago area. And then I would say, so now I've talked more about them than about myself, but I'm expanding a business in that area. Talk more about them, and then state what you're doing. And then it's basically this. Hey, David, I would like to connect and discuss a potential no conflict value add income stream. I might even put in there for you. Right? That's what this could dovetail well with your business or with your core career. Hope to chat soon. And then I put my name in there and my phone and my email. Now he can connect with me after messaging, or he can send a message back to me through LinkedIn. But I'm giving him full disclosure, like my name. I'll tell him where I live. Maybe I'll put my phone number in there, my email, and he can see my profile up on the website as well. And that's fine. And he'll see my regular profession, not my part-time business, because that's just my method of operation. That's what I like to do, so that I can tell them a little bit about what I do and have done in the past, while building a part-time business side by side with it, that then set me free from having to work full-time in the regular career. That's a great story. And that could be your story too, that you're in the process of doing that same thing. I used to tell people I was in the process of doing that. Now I told them that I've done that and I'm looking to help other people do it. So this is a great message. This is probably a really good, think about it. If you were just sitting there one day, going through your regular course of your day, and somebody sent you a message like that, complimenting you about your profile, saying that I see that you live in this area and I happen to be expanding in that area, and I'd love to network with you, discuss a potential no conflict value add income stream. This could dovetail well with your business. Hope to chat soon. Sometimes I'll even put in there, if this is not the kind of message you're looking for on LinkedIn, my apologies, just flush my message, delete it, and forget I ever contacted you. Sometimes I'll put that in there. You guys just have fun with it, okay? Just be a real person. That's all you're doing, is being a real person. So that's one example. Let's take a look at a couple other examples. So this is one right here. This is a great one here. This is if you're specifically talking about a clean energy product now, initiative, and somebody that's in the solar industry like this person David is. This would set well with him. All right. So let's say, hey, David, would like the same compliment at the beginning. Talk to them specifically about their profile or something you like. There's other things you could say. I see you went to school here. I have a friend that went to school there. I see you have this certification. I see that you give to these charities. There's all kinds of badges and things like that are listed on that profile. So always pick something out personal and then get into the message. All right. So, hey, David, I'd like to network with you regarding a clean energy initiative that we're consulting for in, wherever, Chicago. You may have connections who will partner with us, and we have a mechanism to financially reward people like you, perhaps, for making introductions. Looking forward to chatting. And then full disclosure, my name, my phone, my email. Again, not a bad message, right? This would be a good positive message. There's really nothing in here that would make somebody say, you're trying to get me to do something. No, you're just networking with people. So that's another example of what you can do. Here's another example. This is the one that I use a lot. I love this one. This is like give and take, right? It's like your one hand washes the other kind of thing. So you say, hey, thanks for connecting, or thanks for receiving my connection request, or thanks for taking my message. Again, the compliment, let them know about the profile, what you saw on it, something that stood out to you, something that makes them unique, something that makes them feel good. And then, hey, would you like to, I would like to network, would like to network with you a little bit to find out more about what you do and see if there may be some connections that I have that will help you with your career or your business to make it move forward. And see, after all of that, I've said I'd like to network a little bit with them to find out more about them, to see if I can help them with connections that I have to help them with their core career or business. And then I would also like to share a little bit about what I do to see if there's any overlap with your network. Thanks. Looking forward to chatting. Name, phone number, email. You guys, this is how you can build a connections, large connections and large network over time, very quickly, over time, but very quickly. At the same time, you just build it as you go, and you can build rapport with people and add them to your network. And after you connect with them, see, after they've received your message and they've responded back to you, LinkedIn has a record of that communication. And so now when you go to send them a connection request, I haven't even sent them a connection request yet. Now, when they responded back to me, I'll send them a connection request because they responded back to me, we have a relationship now. I reached out to them and they voluntarily responded back to me. LinkedIn now feels like that is a connection. It is. Because now they've responded back to you. It's not one-sided, it's two-sided. And when you go to ask them for the connection, even if they turn you down and they don't want to connect with you, which doesn't happen much really, but if they do, it doesn't go as a check mark against your profile on LinkedIn with their algorithm saying you're reaching out to too many strangers. No, because it's not a stranger. You've communicated with each other. Okay, so just want to put that in there. Now, that's all I wanted to get into was kind of how to quickly search for people in an area and then send them a connection request so that you can then do what we said, use our invitation training, right? All the invitation trainings that we have them up on our YouTube channel. You can go and watch that detailed invitation training. You can use the state coverage map. That's what I love to use with people. The very next thing, once David responds back to me, I'm going to hit him with the coverage map. I'm going to say, look, outside of just the Chicago area, let me just throw this out there. How many of these states do you know people in? It's an easy question, and you'll get an easy response from people when you do.